Water polo began its march to world popularity in England in May 1870. It was invented by a group of aquatic sportsmen who wished to create more interest in spectator water sports. After its exposure in Europe, water polo was introduced in America just before the end of the last century. We became the first foreign country to play this game. Although we were among the first to play the game, through the years we have fallen behind the Europeans. Our athletes have been the leaders in Olympic swimming and diving events for many years. Yet in water polo, we have dropped from 4th place in 1952 to an unranked position in 1964. But our concern is not with the past, but the present, the future. The task to develop a positive program on the national level was given to the U.S. Olympic Water Polo Development Committee. This film was made in conjunction with this committee for the express purpose of furthering the development of water polo in the United States. It will provide schools, clubs, coaches, and players with a needed audiovisual aid to illustrate the basic fundamentals of this sport. The cast includes some of the finest coaches and players in America, including several Olympians. I'm Burt Lancaster. This is U.S. Water Polo. Swimming for water polo differs from competitive swimming. Here is UCLA's coach, Bob Horn, to describe the action.
In water polo, the crawl stroke is used more than any other stroke. Players must keep their head and shoulders high out of the water and look swim. This position causes the legs to sink and the body position is at a much greater angle to the water surface. It requires the leg to bend more at the knee.
The teaching of the correct swimming techniques should start at the very beginning of training. And here again is Coach Horn to tell you about it.
To provide an effective support for the raised head and upper body, players should shorten the length of the arm stroke. This is done by bending the arms at the elbow so that the hands reach the water faster. The continuous windmill action results in greater force exerted against the water.
The importance of the breaststroke should not be minimized. In passing, shooting, or in receiving a high pass, players must be able to rise high out of the water. The arm stroke is modified so that the pull becomes the press that lifts the chest. Emphasis on kick is on the upward thrust rather than on forward propulsion. When a player wishes to view a situation without interrupting his movement, the backstroke is used. As the player turns onto his back, the head and shoulders are held high for a better view. The arm stroke is accelerated to maintain the high body position and swimming speed as well as the advantage in relation to opponents. The side stroke is the basic stroke for fast starting and turning. The body is turned on the side and is high in the water. The position changes toward the breaststroke when the upper arm out of the water is swung forward during recovery. This modified side stroke places an emphasis on a powerful scissor kick. To develop muscular strength, butterfly strokes are used. Here too the head is held high. Kick variations include the use of the flutter kick, and the arm strokes are taken with bent elbows. This is an excellent preparatory exercise for the arm position in dribbling. The key to quick starts and stops is alertness. Here is how Coach Horn sees it.
The body is in a layout position at all times. This means that the body is high in the water with the feet near the surface, ready to execute a quick and powerful scissor kick. To stop, the palms of the hands are turned against the direction of movement and the legs are spread wide to produce an immediate braking action.
Frequently changing situations in play require rapid changes in direction. These are performed by bringing the legs in close to a tuck position and swinging an arm above the water in the direction of the turn. Skills in starting when a player suddenly needs to swing into high gear, braking to a stop, and then starting off in another direction again as if shot from a catapult are important basic fundamentals. For support, the players must develop strong legs with a specialized kick, the egg beater. And here again is Coach Horn to describe it.
Here you can see how the legs alternate, pressing downward with the instep and inside of the lower leg, and recovering in a slightly circular motion. In this walking drill, the body position is vertical with the arms held high in the air. An excellent drill to develop the egg beater kick is water wrestling.
In the dribble, the ball rides the wave in the trough created by the swimmer. The head and shoulders are held high with the back arched to allow the dribbler to see over the ball. This position also discourages the opponents from attempting a steal. The dribbler must be ready to pick up the ball for a pass or a shot anytime. He must always know the positions of teammates and opponents. A player should be able to make various rapid changes in direction. One of the most important methods for doing this is hooking the ball. This technique is usually not emphasized enough. Hooking is a maneuver of off-centering the ball as an evasive tactic against a pressing opponent in order to get clear for a pass or shot. The guard has little chance to anticipate the direction of the hooking. The moving pass requires rhythm and timing. In these exercises, both the passer and the receiver are swimming at all times. These drills are useful throughout the season, not only for ball handling, but also as conditions. Some form of the moving pass drill should be included in every daily workout. Before the player can pass or shoot, he must be able to pick up the ball. Now, there are two methods of lifting the ball from the water: placing the hand on top and placing it underneath the ball. When picking the ball up from underneath, he reaches under it, lifts it, and turns his wrist as he brings it up. When picking the ball up from the top, slight pressure is applied to it with the fingertips. As the water pushes the ball up into the hand is rolled around and under the ball. The development of the player's passing ability is crucial. Every bad pass creates a problem. An unexpected interception leads to the loss of a scoring opportunity for the loser and a new scoring opportunity for the interceptor. Here again is Bob Horn to tell you about it.
The passer must know and take into consideration the ability of his receiver. The ball should be released with a slight backspin so that it follows a straight line and a shallow arc. The throwing arm and shoulder are completely out of the water. The emphasis in these drills must be on accuracy and good ball control. Here is a triangle passing drill clockwise. And now, counterclockwise. The catch and spin pass requires the player to lift himself from the water to catch the ball, spin and pass before he is submerged again. The primary support used when handling and passing the ball is the egg beater kick. The leg action is the key to maintaining the body high while spinning. This formation can be used to develop many passing techniques, such as this backhand. The short, quick pass beyond the receiver trains him to react fast, turn, recover, and throw. A player with this skill, thoroughly mastered, will seldom lose the ball, even after a bad pass. He will also be adept in intercepting or stealing the opponent's careless passes. Here, the extra work is on the center man, who has to recover very quickly after every pass. In these last two drills, the emphasis is on timing and leg conditioning. The number of variations in passing exercises is unlimited.
Scoring, of course, is the main object in the game of water polo. This is a drill designed to simulate a game situation where the shooter receives a quick pass in the air from behind and tries to score. This is known as shooting from a dry pass. The delay caused by having to pick up the ball from the water is completely eliminated. The scoring techniques of the moving players must be adaptable to game situations. Here is former U.S. Olympic coach Uhro Saari to describe them.
This is called a straight shot. The body is high out of the water with the arm well clear of the surface. Note the cock position of the arm. The ball is not behind the player, but above his shoulder. The arm fake is most effective when done from 1 to 3 times, depending on the time available. Note the short, quick movements of the arm. Too many fakes permit the goalie to recover from the initial fake. The push shot is usually used by the player who is driving for the goal but is followed too closely to be able to rear back for a straight shot. Here the player must fire from a swimming position. The motion of the arm is similar to the shot put. The initial pressure on the ball enables the player to lift up and back and then push. any shot that scores consistently is good, and many players develop their own personal shooting techniques. Here are some additional shots which may be used in various game situations. These are not complicated tricks, but well-practiced skills. A shot from a dry pass is one of the most effective scoring threats. Here the timing must be to a fraction of a second. The shooter must have good support from his legs and his free arm using the so-called tripod position.
The basis of good hole play is the ability to get free to shoot or pass. The center forward is most effective when he is not sitting. The hole man who chooses to sit has a difficult time getting positioned, since the guard can cover him like an octopus.
Shots demonstrated here are the swing shot, the rollover. Here the shooter moves away from his opponent and rolls to his back with the ball in his hand and scores. The backhand. Observe the nice follow-up by the passer. The pull shot.
The forgotten quarterback of water polo is the goalie. As you can see, our expert, Bob Horn, is busy at this moment, so I will describe his work for you. The goalie must play the ball correctly, with two hands if possible. The importance of the hand position should be emphasized. Note the position here. Both hands are behind the ball, in effect blocking it, to prevent it from slipping through the fingers. To understand the positioning of the goalie, the shooting angle should be observed. Now, by shooting angle, we mean the angle formed by an imaginary line drawn from the two goal posts to the shooter. If the shooter moves along the face of the goalie must follow, constantly keeping himself in the center of the angle. Moving in this manner, the goal space exposed to the shooter is kept at a minimum. Oops. Well, anyone can make a mistake. Now here comes a lob shot. Observe how the goalie backs up and drops the outside arm. He plays the lob by reaching across his body with the opposite hand. Well done, Bob. Since water polo is a team sport, group sessions are used to discuss correct team tactics. Here, Coach Monte Nitzkowski explains to the Olympic Development Camp players how to maintain the free man in a fast break.
Here, gentlemen, we have the temporary extra man in a 6-on-5 situation. The key is to locate the man in scoring position before the defense can recover. Note the offensive lineup. They have taken a 3-3 position. Middle outside is penetrating with the ball. As the right outside guard moves to the attack, the ball goes to the free man on that side. He penetrates, and by moving into a better position, draws the guard off, and the pass is returned to the free middle man, who scores. Here now is a similar situation, but handled somewhat differently and against a much stronger defense. The offense is 3-3 in an extra man situation. It takes more passing to develop the right shot. Since the man on the right post is left-handed, he remains an effective scoring threat requiring a switch. The switch is on, forcing the ball back to the open middle man, who scores. Now let's look at improper offensive execution of a similar situation and check the resulting consequences. The ball is passed to the man on the right. Not only does he fail to penetrate, but he chooses to shoot and from a covered position. The result? He not only blows the shot, but ends up creating a fast break situation for the blue team. We now have a 4-on-3 situation, which requires the 2-2 positioning for the offense. The ball is penetrated, and the guard makes the fatal mistake of leaving his man and attacking to the outside. The ball is passed, and the shot is scored against the out-positioned goalie. Here we have the defense correctly slowing down the incoming man, and the goalie selects to defend against the shooter on the right wing. The pass goes to the free man, who has now been forced to shoot at a goalie who is ready and waiting. Note the bad angle forced by the defense. This is correct team defense. In this situation, the guards have failed to slow down the incoming man, who now only has to rear back, fake, and score. The guard, moving back and forth between the two offensive players, is guarding no one. He forces the goalie to remain constantly off balance, not being able to set for the shot. The goalie should direct the guard to take one of the two men, preferably the one who swam down with the ball. It is a good rule to remember: let the tired man take the shot. He is also chased by a defender and might be forced to shoot in a hurry. Although it is apparent they may have scored anyway, the defensive thinking could have been much better.
These were some of the fundamentals. They should be known by every coach and mastered by every player in order to achieve a higher standard. Now the torch is passed on to you to be carried forward, perhaps to a gold medal in the 1968 Olympics. We supporters of the American amateur athletic movement wish you the very best. Good luck to all of you.